So hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing a video talking about my top 5 Christmas buildings. Anyway, so basically I've kind of come up with a list. Now this is completely different to the one I did 2 years ago, like completely different. Partially because I've added new buildings onto this list, and also because I've just kind of rearranged it a lot as well, taken some off that I just didn't agree with. But so I'll do some dishonorable mentions first. The first one was actually the winner 2 years ago of the worst Christmas building. That was the Buckingham Payless Hotel, which is basically the hotel that we got with like a hotel that we got with the Christmas update. The main reason I made it number 1 was partially because it was an obscure building and it didn't really make much sense why it was even added in the Christmas update. Now I can add on to that and say, well, this could be left till Destination Springfield 2, and it would have made much more sense to add it like sometime down the line in some sort of Destination Springfield 2 update. Really odd building to throw into Christmas, just doesn't really make much sense, and to be honest, it's just kind of an obscure building. I also kind of had a little bit of a rant of how we have like loads of hotels in the game, but that's not really that relevant because I don't really stand by that anymore. Like, if they do need to, I understand that they're running out of buildings, so it's fair enough if they end up adding a few hotels into the game. The second dishonorable mention is the Phonehenge kiosk. Just a really unnecessary building. Shouldn't be a building, should be a decoration, to be honest. And even if you want to make it a building, fair enough. It just, to me, it just isn't that interesting. Kind of sits there, doesn't really do much. Just very boring and bland and not funny at all. Anyway, let's get into the actual list. So number 5, I've put Springfield Henge. Hate this building with a passion. Partially because, first of all, it's a painful reminder of that awful winter 2016 that we got, which was a terrible update. But also because to me, it just isn't a very interesting building. It's very kind of ugly. It's all like, it's just rocks really. And I get that they're trying to do like a Stonehenge kind of parody. That's fine, but it doesn't make it a good building. It doesn't relate to Christmas whatsoever. It's completely unrelated to Christmas because it's this whole pagan thing. And yes, I know where Christmas comes from. I know that Christmas is originally a pagan thing. But when I'm talking about Christmas, I'm talking about a completely different thing. I'm talking about Western, modern Christmas. Like, well, I say Western because most of it is Western technically. Obviously, Christmas used to be pagan. We all know that. But I'm talking about modern Christmas. It's not really that to do with it anyway. And even if it was, Stonehenge has nothing to do with Christmas. It's a burial site for people like thousands of years ago. So I don't understand why Stonehenge has to do. It literally doesn't even have anything to do with the pagan side of Christmas. So to me, it's just bizarre, and I just don't like it as a building. Number 4, I've put the Candy Cave. Now, it's the same reason Jack Frost was on my list, is because the Candy Cave to me is a rehash of a few things. It's a rehash of the actual ice cave that we've already got in the game, which is a decoration, and that reminds me this technically should be a decoration because everything similar to it has also been a decoration. But I'll let it be a building. That's fine. It could be a building, but the problem I have with it is, again, we've got the ice cave, we've also got the bear cave, we've got the bat cave, we've got the all these different caves that look so similar to this, and it just feels like they've just kind of rebranded it, thrown some candy on there, and that's it, and bam, there's your building. I don't like it. It's something we've got multiple times in the game, and so for that reason it's on the list. I don't particularly think it's a very interesting building. It's difficult to decorate, so it just has to go on the list. I just don't like it at all. And then that comes into number 3, same sort of reason, and this is the Ice Palace. The Ice Palace, yes, it should be a building, of course it should be, and yeah, I do think it should be added in the game. I just hate it. It's a monstrosity. It's impossible to decorate. It is a real eyesore anyway. It came with the Ice Martin thing, Ice Princess Martin costume, whatever the heck it is, which is a awful costume anyway. This building is I just don't like it at all whatsoever. It's I've always hated it. Such an eyesore. Also, it's not consistent with what usually happens. Like with Tapped Out, like when it's winter, the trees, they all like kind of like, even on like certain buildings, like you go to the Tree Steakhouse building, which we got in Destination Springfield, that the tree on top of that building is now like all bare, and like on our like in all these different buildings we've got, like everything is like, if there's like a water on the building, then the water's frozen over. If you go over to JG's mansion's his pool, you can see just around it that they've just been detailed with it, and they've made it look like his like pool's like kind of iced over a little bit. But with the Ice Palace, what happens when winter's gone is all the snow decorations, like the snowmen and stuff, they all melt. But for some weird reason, the Ice Palace stays still. And I know it would look weird if the Ice Palace was all melted, but I'd rather them just be consistent and just make it so it's just melted. I know that would actually make it uglier, and I get that, but it might not actually be on the list but maybe it would. I don't know. It'd probably be on the list regardless. I just don't like it as a building. So yeah. Number 2, I've put the Cannon Control building. Doesn't need to be a building. Shouldn't be a building. And it's just stupid. And it's ugly. Doesn't really do much. Kind of impractical. Just kind of sits there. Of course, it was used with the whole cannon thing where they had the happy little elves. I didn't really like that mechanic anyway. And the Cannon Control building, again, it's just kind of one of these things that, yeah, I guess it can be a building. It doesn't really strike me as a really amazing building. Just kind of sits there, doesn't do much, and not really much more to say on it. The Cannon building. Yeah. So to be honest, that's it for 5-2. So can we have that drum roll for the number 1, the worst? And it goes to the Ball Pit. So, of course, the Ball Pit actually did it get worst building this year? I don't even remember anymore. But if it did get worst building, it deserved it. I do think this is the worst Christmas building. And you're probably going to ask me why. Well, first of all, it's got nothing to do with Christmas. It's a ball pit. Second of all, it's a whole play on... I know it's a play on words. It's the pagan god or whatever the heck it is. I don't even know what it is, ball. But it should be a decoration, let's be honest. This should not be a building at all. Like, you can make a case that the phone kiosk the Stonehenge phone kiosk should be a building. You can make the case for that. What you can't make the case for is this being a building. Why the heck is this a building? It's a ball pit, for Christ's sake. There's not even a way of justifying it. Now, I'm all for decorations that can earn cash. There's a certain decoration, well, I'm not actually a massive fan of that, to be honest with you, but there's some things like this tree stump, like if you buy something, like there's a decoration that earns you event currency, and then they have to kind of transport, I get that, but like, this, I just don't like it at all. It's just really odd. Why it's a building, I don't get. Also, it's ugly. It's horrible. I don't like it. It's not Christmas related in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, there's not really much more to say. It's just that I just never liked it. It annoys me that it is a building, and yeah. So anyway, guys, that is it for this video. So tell me your thoughts on your worst buildings. Give me your kind of top 5 or your top 3 or give me your 1. Yeah, so that's it. So I will be doing my top 5 right, hang on. Top 5 worst costumes, top 5 best costumes. I'll probably do them tomorrow, or to one of them tomorrow anyway. And I'll also be doing what I'm gonna decide. What I've decided to do. I've kind of redone my schedule. So there will be less videos, but hey ho. Basically, with my whole 2017 things, I'm just gonna do a ranked video. So I'm gonna do major events ranked, so I'm going to include all the major events, or basically all the events that got their own splash screen apart from Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to do like a mini event thing, so that's all the mini events. So I'll do a mini events ranked from 2017. And then I'm going to do top 10 characters, top 10 NPCs, top 10 buildings, and top 10 costumes. And then top 10 worst for those as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.